In this video, we're going to be opening up the long-awaited Destroyer Droid from Black Series, doing a little bit of customization and of course some toy photography. This thing is way bigger and way more impressive than you'd expect. Okay, is this the biggest Black Series box we've ever had? At least biggest Black Series box of a single figure? I mean, I remember the Viper Pro Droid box was pretty big. I mean, I guess the ATST box was a single thing. No, that had another figure in it. Plus that was smaller scale back in the day, Black Series, whatever. I think this has gotta be the biggest box. I mean, this is a big box. This is really big.
Look at the size of that thing.
Well, I imagine if this had come out, the box would have been much bigger. But that's not gonna happen. But this is a big box, and it is kind of jarring at first, especially when you compare it to like a normal size box. And yes, I will be doing a video on this guy later this week, so definitely keep an eye on that. Make sure you're subscribed, of course, because we have to know about what happened with the droid attack on the Wookiees. You know, like, what about that? Anyway, I think we finally have almost all of the Separatist droids. Who are we missing now? Commando droids, the tactical droids. Who else are we missing? Buzz droids? Let me know, what am I missing? Yes, this is the new Black Series Droidica Destroyer Droid, whatever you want to call it. Hasbro's been making Black Series figures for a long time, and all of us have been like,
where are those droidicas?
It is kind of weird it's taking them this long to make it, but I'm glad it's finally out. I pre-ordered this on entertainmentearth.com. I love Entertainment Earth. Honestly, they're my favorite store. That's why I get everything from there. And if you want to use my affiliate code down below to save yourself some money, definitely go ahead and use that. It's in the link in the description, as it always is. So I appreciate that if you ever use that link. And the discount, it helps me a lot. So yeah, Entertainment Earth for the win, of course. So I'm a 90s boy. I grew up loving the prequels, especially Phantom Menace. And back in the day when I watched that movie, I thought they were saying droid cars, not droidica. They're no match for droid cars, you know? And especially because of those ridiculous accents, I totally thought it was droid car. Am I the only one? There's gotta be somebody else out there that also thought it was droid car. And of course, as another friendly reminder, it is okay to throw away your boxes, or recycle them, of course. Hey, here he is, out of the box, and he's quite impressive. I think I'm slowly realizing why it took Hasbro so long to come out with this guy. He's incredibly intricate. It's like, yeah, there's a lot going on with him. All kinds of joints all over the place. There's even little like hydraulic thingies here in the little arm here. And you know, there's a lot of different points you can move him. All over the legs, the arms, and even the little face here's got a little boop, boop movement there. And I think he's really cool. And I think they did a great job, and I'm definitely impressed. So he's like a $34, $35 figure. So he's about almost $10 more than a normal figure, and I get that. Is he worth an extra 10 bucks? I think so. I feel like if you were to get this price down to any lower, like what a normal Black Series is sold at, it would not have this much detail, and it makes sense. It would definitely need to be at this price point for it to look this good. So as far as posability goes, there's really only two poses that I can think of you would want to put him in, you know? So as far as this pose, it looks pretty good. What do you think? It looks pretty accurate. One thing I was really trying hard to do was to make it so his arms were not like drooping onto his knees. Like I kept finding myself putting him like on his knees like that. But you know, if you mess around with them, it's just fine. There really are a lot of different things you can move around. Even these little flaps down here. It's cool, right? One thing I'm noticing right now about the Destroyer Droid that I never really noticed is how not cute his face is. A lot of the droids have a little bit of cuteness to them. I mean, obviously some of them do, but like even the battle droids kind of do. But his face is so not cute. There's nothing cute about it. Nothing. It just looks like a weird bug face, kind of. Okay, so yeah, we got that pose. Let's crumple him up and get him in a pose where we can roll him around. Let's roll out. Wait, wrong robots, sorry. Okay, here we go. Wow, he really crumples up nicely into a ball. Look at that. Just kidding, that was a joke. That was the best that I could do. I actually spent a lot of time trying to actually really crumple this guy up. He's kind of round, right? And I even looked up pictures and everything on my phone to see if I could get it to be close to this, and I don't know, I think they definitely prioritized the way he looks out, you know, and ready to go, as opposed to how he looks rolled up, which I think that was the right way to go. And I kind of feel like I tried to put together a Bakugan and I couldn't do it. So let's do the test to see if he rolls. Welcome to Will It Roll? Let's find out if this Black Series Destroyer droid will roll. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. In 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Thank you for joining us today on Will It Roll on the Sirdork YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. Well, I'm sorry to anyone who is really looking forward to getting this guy to roll. If anyone else was, able to have better luck than I was, please let me know or tell me what I could do better. Because I would like to make him roll. But anyway, let's compare him to some other stuff. Okay, well, here he is compared next to a B1. Oh my god. I thought he was gonna fall over. I'm amazed. Anyway, and here he is compared to a B2. Pretty great comparison. In my head, I never imagined him being so big, but seeing him compared like this, it makes sense. I'm quite happy with the scale and how big he is, what he looks like. I'm quite happy with him. I think he looks really great. So what I'm thinking here, they definitely put prioritization on the sculpt and the figure itself, and then maybe sacrificed a little bit on paint, because as far as I can tell, there's maybe 3 different paint colors on here. We've got the normal just gray all over here, and we've got the kind of maroonish red on the outside, and then there's a couple little hints of silver in some small areas here. But that's really it. Man, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Yeah, let's rub them and buff them. So if you've watched my videos before, you'll recognize this stuff. This is Rub and Buff. It's a wax-based paint that's great for making things shiny and silver and kind of chrome, and I pretty much always use it on any figure I own that is supposed to be like a little bit metal, or metal at all, and it really helps, and I think this guy needs it quite a bit. And what I'm gonna do is just do a really quick, dry type of coating around where all the gray is. Hopefully, all of the raised parts and crevices get some of this in there, so it just makes a little bit of detail. So I'm just gonna do that really quickly with a paintbrush, and then afterwards I'm gonna have to give him a coating, of course, with a matte finish, which I think will look really great. If you're interested in this, I'll have this and everything I'm using linked in the description of the video, Amazon links for all that stuff. So if you wanna do this yourself, you can give it a shot. This actually pops right off, which will make things easier, I think, so that's kinda cool. All right, well, I don't know if you can tell right now, but he is way shinier, and I think he looks awesome. I kind of coated him a whole lot more than I was expecting. So I'm gonna give him a spray finish so he can be all done. And man, I'm looking forward to it. Dang, look at that. Man, I don't know about you guys, but I definitely think this is the best rub and buff upgrade I've ever done. This looks absolutely phenomenal. It's crazy how much better this looks now. Hey, I thought it looked good before, but this looks really good. All I did was just coat all the gray stuff in rub and buff, not too much, just a little bit, and it looks really great. And I did a tiny little bit on the red too. Like if you look closely on the little holes here on the side, that looks, I think, really, really nice. All you gotta do is just get a little bit of rub and buff. I highly recommend it. I almost kind of like when figures look a little bland, so then I can rub and buff them. I think this figure is a win for Hasbro, a win for Black Series. Is it a win? Let me know, is it a W or an L? Give me a hard answer in the comments. Is this a W or is this an L? Maybe I'll start doing that from now on. Let me know, W or L. Yes, it's a shooting and reviewing video. Let's shoot this guy. I've got a really funny idea, and I'm not sure if it's gonna work. I wanna try it out, especially with his shield generators. Okay, so I'm outside on this beautiful, warm, sunny day, and my goal is to try and create a practical shield generator around him, and the only thing I could think of was bubbles. So here we are. It's incredibly simple. He's just sitting up here on my table, on my deck, in the sunshine. Got my camera set up for him, and I've created this little contraption, which is for bubbles,
but it also fits perfectly around him, if you can tell. So my goal is to get some bubbles on here and slowly, perfectly just go and hopefully capture some bubble on him, like around him, to make it look like a shield generator, but still also make it look like a bubble. Shield generator, bubbles, ahaha. Hopefully it'll be funny. And then I just have my other little smaller bubbles that I'll blow around him to hopefully make it look like there's some other bubbles. I don't know. So my settings are at 1600 for the shutter speed. It needs to be pretty fast, but I am at 4.5 aperture, which is a little bit higher than I usually do because I just want to make sure there's a lot in focus here. Plus there's so much sunlight that I can afford to turn it up a little bit. ISO is at 400 as always. All right then, well, let's go and take this shot. Hopefully I can get something kind of good going on. And then I'll of course do an editing time lapse of how I put all this together. It's gonna need to be a little bit of editing, but either way, let's go take the shot. So this thing is like 15 bucks more than the average Black Series figure, but I think Hasbro did a great job. I definitely don't think they did the Destroyer Droid dirty in this one. I think this thing is awesome. If you did enjoy the video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. This photo, along with everything else, as always, will be posted on Instagram, Twitter, and on TikTok. And again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.